What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman for Awesemo.com, and I am back with my NBA DFS contenders on FanDuel for Thursday, April 8th. Now be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when this and all of our other content goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman so you can get updates to these sim results as we get closer to lock. And finally, let me know in the comments section who is your favorite and least favorite of my contenders for today's slate. We're rounding out the bottom of my top 10 with Moses Brown, Damian Lillard, De'Aaron Fox, Zach LaVine, Jrue Holiday. They're all on the outside looking in. That's a pretty loaded group. Who will be my favorites, my top 5 plays for today? It's time to find out. First up at number 5, we're going to ALEKSEJ POKUSEVSKI. He is power forward eligible, 5,500 for projected for about 30. The goal is 41, and he is in the optimal lineup 28% of the time. Now, he had a really nice game last night, and I'm expecting him to do it again today. 33 minutes, 0.9 fantasy points per minute. We're talking 22% usage, 13.5 points, almost 7 boards, 3 assists, 2 stocks. Now, it's a pace down spot against the Cleveland Cavs. However, the Cavs are terrible, clear across the board. One of the worst offenses in the league. Not that that matters all that much, but this was a defense that was solid earlier in the year. That's not the case any longer. POKUSEVSKI and Oklahoma City, this is as good of a spot as they're going to really find. I mean, this is barely a basketball team, but POKUSEVSKI's playing monstrous minutes at a mid-5s price tag. That is pretty solid value to me. Next up at number 4, we are staying at the power forward spot. We're paying up a little bit more to PASCAL SIAKAM. He's 8,700, projected for 44. The goal is 52.5, and he is in the optimal lineup 32% of the time. We're taking a little bit of a step up here in tier. We've got no Kyle Lowry. We've got no Fred VanVleet. Norm Powell isn't here anymore. We brought in Gary Trent. This is PASCAL SIAKAM's show. 37 minutes, 1.18 fantasy points per minute, 28% usage. We're getting 23.5 points, 7 boards, 5.5 assists, 2 stocks, and they're taking on Chicago. This is not a very good defense for the Bulls. It's a pace neutral spot for Toronto, but that's perfectly okay with me. I love this matchup. I love the increased role for Siakam with Lowry and VanVleet out. And 8,700 is a pretty easy price tag to get to for Siakam. 1.18 fantasy points per minute. Honestly, it felt a little bit lower than I was expecting, but it's not really going to matter if he's playing 37 minutes a game. Next up at number 3, we're getting a heck of a bargain. Shooting guard eligible Donovan Mitchell, projected for 44. The goal is 49. He's in the optimal lineup 36% of the time. He's just 7,800, and we are not likely to see Mike Conley tonight on the back-to-back. So 34 minutes for Donovan Mitchell. I've got him at 1.29 fantasy points per minute. He sees a slight usage bump and a massive assist rate bump. 33% usage, 27 points, 7 assists, and 4 boards. Now, it's a slight pace down spot against Portland. It's not the fastest matchup in the world. It's not a great Portland defense, and Donovan Mitchell is going to have the ball in his hands for basically the entire game. Every minute he is on the floor, he will largely be dictating the offense of the Utah Jazz. You don't normally get to a lot of Jazz guys. You don't really see a lot of Jazz guys showing up in the contenders videos, but when Mike Conley is out or when anybody is out for this team, everybody gets a little bit better. And Donovan Mitchell is my number 3 guy today. He gets a lot of bit better. Now, I thought this guy was going to be my number 1 contender, but he's actually number 2. Small forward eligible Khris Middleton. He's 8,200, projected for 42. The goal is 51. He's in the optimal lineup 38% of the time. No Giannis Antetokounmpo for the Bucks today. We know what's going to happen here. Everybody takes a massive increase. 36 minutes for Middleton, 1.17 fantasy points per minute. He gets a bump up to 30% usage. We're talking 25.5 points, 6 boards, 5.5 assists, a steal. Now, pretty big pace down spot against Dallas, but both Middleton and Jrue Holiday are going to be doing everything for the Bucks. They are going to be running this entire ship, and I love it. Khris Middleton is fantastic when Giannis Antetokounmpo is off the floor. He's basically a 50, 40, 90 guy. There's not much else that you could really look for. He doesn't get his chance to shine normally. Now, I know that I'm a Khris Middleton stan. You don't have to let me know in the comments. I'm well aware of it. This is different. When Giannis isn't there, he sees massive bumps clear across the board. That's why you're seeing Middleton at number 2. That's why you're seeing Jrue Holiday at number 6. You're going to see them even higher on DraftKings. These guys are fantastic plays with Giannis out. Don't overthink it. Even at 8,200, you want to get to Khris Middleton today. Now, before we get to that number 1 contender, one last reminder to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live, then follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman so you can get updates to these sim results as we get closer to lock. That's the best place to do it. I'm not on live before lock tonight. It's the only place you're going to get these updates. Then head into this comment section. Let me know in the comments your favorite contender, your least favorite contender. And if you've got a contender that I don't have, let me know who it is. I want to know who I'm missing. And finally, the number one contender for today's slate, point guard Luka Doncic makes me feel good. 10,300 projected for 52. The goal is 58. He's in the optimal lineup 38% of the time. Now, he hasn't been great as of late, but I do have him as a 1.5 fantasy point per minute guy. We're probably going to have no Kristaps Porzingis today. I'm assuming Maxey comes back, but 36% usage, 29, 9, and 8, a stock and a half. Huge pace up spot against Milwaukee as well. The big piece here, and I touched on it on the process show, which you guys should be watching, by the way. There's not a ton of pay-up options, and Luka Doncic is like 7 or 8 raw points ahead of the next closest guy in my projections. And in situations like that, it makes it really difficult to want to drop down. It's really hard to make up those points. So while I wasn't expecting Luka to be at the top here, because of how much he's separated from the rest of the pack in just raw fantasy point projection, you lose a lot by not actually having him. And that is why Luka Doncic is the number one contender for today's slate. Alrighty, folks, that will do it. Those are my NBA DFS contenders on FanDuel for Thursday, April 8th. I mentioned before, I'm not on live before lock, but you should go back and watch the process show, watch the DraftKings version of this contenders video, and then check out the NBA strategy show with myself and Adam Kaufman at 10 a.m. today. It's a good one. We're kicking off the Masters as well. That should be fun. So sign up for our PGA package using the promo code Dustin. BOGO months. Buy one, get one free. You get access to everything we've got for the PGA, $29.95, but not just 1 month. You get 2. That'll take you through the PGA Championship if you're looking to play another major. It's good stuff, people. Thank you for joining me. We'll be back again, closing out the work week tomorrow with another edition of the Contenders.